Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently read Margaret Atwood's graphic novel interpretation of The Handmaid's Tale, or it's actually called the graphic novel. The art and adaptation were by Renee Nault. And yeah, there are some sizable differences between the graphic novel and the actual television show. Unlike the television show, in the graphic novel, she has a tattoo on her ankle, and it's that of an eye with two wings on the side and then this barcode. So it's very reminiscent of the Book of Revelation. If you know anything about the mark of the beast and how people will actually receive it, you either get it on your hand or your forehead. But I don't see why it wouldn't apply in this certain case, but it seems awfully reminiscent of that. But June, she doesn't really reveal her name. She just says that her name is Offred and her actual name is forbidden. She can't use it. Nick looks different, and Serena and Fred look completely different because Serena and Fred are rather old in this version, and Mariah is not black and neither is Luke, and it leads you to believe that Luke died. There was a divorce. There was a divorce in the TV series too, but Luke actually divorced his first wife, who was a complete and utter psycho bitch. So the creative license in the television show I really, really like, but it really doesn't go into detail as to what caused the infertility or why. And the colonies themselves, it delves into a little bit why they're not so preferred over the Gilead settlement. But anything would be better than just being chucked out into the colonies, which are riddled with nuclear decay. And something really horrible must have happened to have led to a nuclear winter. And of course the television series does a better job at illustrating this quite well. But I really need to read the book. I love the graphic novel, and it's something that I've become somewhat obsessed with. So I'm hoping that I can read the book soon, and I'm going to put it on my wish list for my birthday later, so it's going to take a while for me to actually get it. But I will get it, and I will read it, and I'll give you my assessment. And if you're a fan of Handmaid's Tale, then definitely read it, because you'll see the comparisons and the contrasts. And they still keep the whole Noite de Bastardes in there, or don't let the Noite de Bastardes caberundum, which actually I have the original saying. It's illegitime non caberundum, which is don't let the bastards grind you down, or don't let the illegitimate ones grind you down. Same difference, same interpretation. But I always thought that was a very ironic scene with Fred, and it's intriguing because with the graphic novel it actually hints at, well, it's actually quite obvious that Fred is starting to have feelings for Offred, or June in this case. She doesn't really reveal that, her name I should say, but the affection is there, even though he's married to Serena. But I'm thinking it's more of a domestic partnership and trade and a business agreement of power and prestige, rather than a marriage based on the principles of love. And the television series goes into this as well. That infamous scene of the rape of the woman who got raped, and they made an example of her. And then the rapist, when he gets bludgeoned to death. Yeah, the graphic novel does a really good job of depicting that. You think, oh my dear Lord God. But yeah, mob mentality. If Offred hadn't participated, she probably would have gotten stoned herself. Peanut, please don't. Peanut, stop. Peanut, no. No, stop. Don't mess with that. My cat's messing with my trash, and I'd much rather he didn't. It is, just trying to see, this was published just recently, and I like that scene at the very beginning with her daughter. That's a good flashback. Actually, the flashback is the first thing that we're introduced to. And Aunt Lydia, I think they did a really fantastic job in portraying her. And it doesn't really split up the United States, but I don't even know how many pages there are because the pages are not numbered. Let me look and see if it actually says how many pages there are. No, it does not, unfortunately. Sorry, I don't know how many pages there are. I just know that there are over 100 at least. And for me, I got through it extremely quickly just because I couldn't put it down. It's written in such a way that it's absolutely fantastic, and I want to show off some of the artwork. I'm not going to give anything away. I love the artwork. The artwork is really beautiful. I mean, the contrast of the red on the white, it's very telling, because red is often the color of passion, the color of blood, the color of violence. Red has so many meanings, and not only that, but in their cult, in their society, they're chattel, they're property, and the only reason that, well, also the red indicates their maturity and the fact that they can bear children. If you know anything about Red Riding Hood, that comes back to that imagery if you've studied it. And of course I learned that in college. But one thing I noticed that was interesting, of course they talk about the Marthas, and it says that they're mostly outside because they're always working outside. Of course the Econo wives, they're not divided into functions, they have to do everything. Of course they're depicted differently here. They're women of the poorer men, apparently. The Econo wives weren't featured in the television series. And apparently tourists will come and see the women of Gilead, the handmaids, and they ask them questions. Of course they have to answer in appropriate terms, not giving away the fact that they're being treated like crap, but nonetheless is extremely interesting. And that's all I gotta say. Later. Bye.